In this video, we are going to learn about friction. So what is friction? So suppose a body A on the surface of a body B, and if we apply a force on body A in the right direction, then at the surfaces of contact, an opposing force develops which opposes the motion of the body, and this force which is developed at the surfaces of contact which opposes the relative motion of the body is called force of friction or friction. So we can define friction as an opposing force that comes into play when one body actually moves or tries to move over the surface of other body. Thus, force of friction is the force that develops at the surfaces of contact of two bodies and opposes their relative motion. Develops at the surfaces of contact of two bodies and opposes their relative motion. Now, origin of sliding friction. There are two views of origin of sliding friction. First one is old view. According to this view, the irregularities of one body get interlocked with the irregularities of another body, and to move one body over the surface of other body, we have to apply force to break these irregularities, and that's from where the force of friction comes. So according to old view, force of friction arises from interlocking of irregularities of two surfaces in contact. But there are two shortcomings of this old view. So first one is that with increase in area of contact between these two surfaces, the friction should increase because the number of interlockings of irregularities would increase, but it is found experimentally that the area of that the force of friction is independent of area of contact. between the surfaces So Oldview couldn't explain this experimentally found result that force of friction does not depend on the area of contact. So this was the first shortcoming of Oldview, and second shortcoming was that when the area of contact is extra smooth, friction increases. But according to Oldview, as the area of contact is extra smooth, the number of interlockings of irregularities should decrease, so friction would decrease, but it is found experimentally that when area of contact is extra smooth, area of contact is extra smooth, the friction increases. To explain these two shortcomings, a modern view of friction was introduced. The second view, or modern view of friction, according to this view, the force of friction arises on account of strong atomic or molecular forces of attraction between the two surfaces of at the points of actual contact. So for this we should know about adhesive force. So what is adhesive force? Adhesive force is a force of attraction between the molecules of different substances. So when the molecules of different substances are very close to each other, they exert force of attraction on one another, and this force of attraction, which is acting between the molecules of different substances, is called adhesive force. The surface of any body is not very smooth. In fact, it has many irregularities if we see it from very powerful microscope. So due to this, the actual area of contact between these two surfaces is very small in comparison to the apparent area. So this area is apparent area of contact, but this is the points where the surfaces are actually in contact, and total area of these points at which these two surfaces are actually in contact is called actual area. So ratio of actual area to the apparent area is of the ratio 1:10 to power 4. At these points of actual contact, the molecules of these two substances are very close to each other, and adhesive force between them acts, and since this area of contact is very less, the pressure is very high. Due to this, many of the contact points may deform plastically and become cold-welded together. So according to modern view of friction, the friction between these two surfaces is because of adhesive pressure, which is equal to total force, that is adhesive force, which is acting between molecules of two surfaces upon the actual area of contact. Since the actual area of contact is very small, so due to this reason the adhesive pressure is very high, and force of friction is acting when we try to move the body over the surface of another body. Now let's see how this modern view overcomes the shortcomings of old view. So first shortcoming was that friction is independent of area of contact, and it is because as area of contact increases, the points of contact also increases, so adhesive force also increases in the same ratio to the increase in area of contact. Due to this reason, the ratio which is equal to adhesive pressure remains constant even if we increase the area, because as we are increasing the area, the adhesive force at the points of contact is also increasing in the same ratio. Due to this, the adhesive pressure is constant and independent of area of contact. Second shortcoming was when surfaces are made extra smooth, the friction between them increases. This is because when surfaces are made extra smooth, they come more close to each other. Due to this, the adhesive force acting between the substances of these two bodies increases. Adhesive force increases, resulting in increase in adhesive pressure. Due to this, the friction acting between these two bodies increases. So that's why when surfaces are made extra smooth, friction increases.